And one of the things that we've started to do with customers and as part of our implementation framework is decouple or loosely couple the components of the project so we can see success at various tiers of the solution independently of the places where we see some of the challenges arise. And one of the ways that we describe that is in the sort of northbound and southbound context. And so what we try to articulate is that from a southbound context, that's getting data into a data ecosystem. Whether that's a physical landing of the data, as in we pop it into the system and we physically have it and we're keeping it in trust or in a long-term ecosystem, or we're virtually connecting to the data because it's something we're calling as an API or as an external data source. But that acquisition is valuable if it can be reused by multiple projects. Oftentimes we see a sales project happen independently of a CRM or customer 360 project. But sales information is important information about your customer, and if they're not linked, then you've duplicated effort and duplicated work. So when we think about southbound data acquisition and data connectivity, what we're doing is we're creating usable data connections to sources of truth and making them available to the data ecosystem so that they can be reused and repurposed and leveraged on an ongoing basis. We then talk about things occurring on the northbound, and we talk about northbound kind of in two distinct contexts. The first context is sort of the traditional reporting and analytics and AI, machine learning, all of those sort of data-driven, outcome-based things. And then the second side, we're very focused on business outcomes and sort of emergent behavior that you're using to try and leverage changes in the business or changes in your customers' behavior, or changes in your operational behavior. And those applications, again, use that same data foundation that we're collecting southbound to leverage emergent outcomes on the northbound side, or that sort of customer, public, or internal facing side where there's really the consumption of the data. In both cases, there's often enrichment that occurs on the way through, or business logic. And whether that enrichment comes from the northbound side in terms of actually interacting with the app, or it's sort of the analysis or data blending or feature development that occurs from a business logic perspective, they both then become southbound vectors as well. So they then create a secondary repeatable piece that also then increases the value of the data ecosystem overall. On the southbound side, creating reusable data building blocks, and on the northbound side, delivering value to customers on an ongoing basis.